If you have any questions about why we call this or that, let me know. So real quickly, this costs less, and so we call that the positive 1 tile. Okay. Whereas this has more ink, and so it's a negative 1 tile. And the ministry is about saving money. We use more positives. That's why they decide to make positives unshaded. Okay. Textbook's the same way. You'll figure out the textbook as you're doing the questions. This then would be a plus X tile. This would be a negative X tile. Okay. And not like last year where the textbook went back and forth, at least the textbook we used. We don't change them at all. Okay, they're always going to be like that. You have a key on your data booklet. We're always going to use it. If you ever have a question, ask right away. Okay, this is going to be a plus x squared because it's x times x. It has x squared area. Whereas this would be a negative x squared tile. And if you can tell me why that's so wrong, let me know. Going down, we represent the following polynomials using algebra tiles. So 2x squared, what does the 2 mean? It means there's 2 of them, right? So we have 2x squared. Plus 4, that means there's 4 1 tiles, and they should be unshaded as well. Can you put them together? No, they're 2 separate things. So this is why 2x squared plus 4 is as simple as it gets. You can't combine them. They're different shapes. Apples and oranges, cats and dogs, all that stuff. Draw the next one. Go. B. Okay, there we go. Now, if you're a horrible artist, good for you. Take your time to draw it properly. I just have to see clearly there's 3 different shapes. If I'm uncertain, I mark it wrong. So make sure you're clear in your drawings. How you decide to organize those is up to you. I usually represent it this way, 3 different shapes. Done. Okay. Draw C and D. Go. Okay, now why we have C and D there is you look at the 4 tiles. On C, it's a minus 4, and so we have to shade them. The minus sign is in front of the 4. But what about D? Where's your minus sign for D? Well, it's after the 4, so it doesn't belong to the 4, it's a plus 4. But it's the 2 x's that are negative and shaded. Okay, so pay attention to the sign in front of the number. It's always in front. So the 3x here is a positive, not looking behind it. You don't want to look at its behind. It's kind of gross. All right. X squared's same thing. So you're always looking at the in front to decide whether it's positive or negative. Any questions? Thumbs up down the middle. Good. Let's roll. So that's just, can you understand it to do it? So identify the polynomials. Go ahead. So now you're going to write the symbolic, the algebra. Okay, any questions with these? Looking at the shading to tell you the sign, how many there are, can't combine them. Okay. Then we go into 0 pairs. So when we have opposite signs, this is a plus x squared, a minus x squared. Together, their value is 0. Okay, and so we usually, if we want to remove them, then we cross it off. We circle it, cross it off if we want to remove a 0 pair. This, of course, would be plus 1, sorry, other way around, minus 1 plus 1. okay, and they form a zero pair. Now you can have lots of them, but when we say simplify, you have to remove them. Okay. So collecting like terms using algebra tiles, here's 3x, 1, 2, 3, and then we have to minus 2x. So how do we show that? Well, we just cross them off, okay? And so what's left over is the 1x. Now, compare that to having a minus 2x. So you start with negative 2x. And now you have to add 3x. Okay. So what we're going to do is pair up the positives and negatives. And we have zero pairs forming, and we remove them. Exact same answer, x, but way different drawing. Okay, way different drawing. Okay, try drawing the next one. 2x minus 3x. Draw that, please. This is a hard one. So I start with the 2x. That's easy, right? What about this minus 3x? I can take away two of them, but what do I have to do to take away another one? Well, I have to have another one to take away. So what I do is I put down a zero pair. I haven't changed the value. Add 0, doesn't change, but now I can cross one off. And so now my answer is negative x. Compare that to this, minus 3x. So we're going to start with minus 3x. And what we're going to do is we're going to add 2x. Okay? So what we do is we add 2x. And there's zero pairs forming, they get removed, and your answer is the same. Okay, so this is where you guys start losing it. Questions, please ask. Okay. Different drawings, right? Very different. But very same answer, right? Okay. So, next one. Try this. 4x minus 2x. So start by drawing 4x. And then minus 2x's, so that's easy. Then draw plus 3. And now you have to minus 6. I need to minus 3 more. What do I have to do? I can't take any more away. What do I have to do? Draw 0 pairs. Now you take away total of 3. Okay. So my final answer then is 2x minus 3. Okay. Try drawing the next one. Okay, so there's negative 2x minus 6, then you have to add 4x. And plus 3. 0 pair, 0 pair. Two x minus 3. Final answer. Okay. So what we're going to do, adding subtraction with the algebra tiles. Notice we have brackets now. Brackets are grouping symbols. Okay. So every part of the group inside the brackets added or subtracted. And it's a subtraction where you always have to be careful, okay, because it changes things. So let's start by drawing 3x minus 4. Do that real quick. And then what we want to do is add the next part, okay, putting like groups together. So the 2x should line up with the 3x, and the plus 5 should line up with the minus 4. Why should they line up? Because then you can show what? 0 pairs. Okay. So here I have a whole group of 0 pairs. I can take them away. And what's left over now with the symbols? So going to the algebra, how many x's in total do I have? 5x. And what about the 1 tiles? Plus 1. Okay, so 5x plus 1. Now if you look just at the symbols in the brackets, you can see that quite easily, right? 3x plus 2x, negative 4 plus 5. Can't get adding wrong. Impossible. Okay. So go ahead, let's do B. I want you to start by drawing this one, and then I want you to add the second part. Okay. Always start by drawing. That's the first step, and then the second thing is to add. Got lots of space. Don't scrunch it in, please. And now I'm going to add the second part. Remove your 0 pairs. And what's remaining? Awesome. Thumbs up down in the middle. Good. Okay. Adding, you can't go wrong. And then there's this stuff. Boo. Subtracting. Boo. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that we subtract a positive 2x and we subtract a positive 3. The subtraction must occur to both parts. Okay. So first of all, you want to draw this. Okay. That doesn't change. And now you want to take away 2 x's. That's easy to do. Cross off 2 x's, no problem. See I did that in blue? Okay. Now you want to take away 3 positives. Are there any 3 positives to take away? No. So what I have to do is I have to draw a 0 pair. And I want to draw 3 of them. Whoops. Because then I can take away 3 0 pairs. Sorry, take away 3 positives. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if you can't take it away, what do you have to do? Put down 0 pairs. Okay. Put down 0 pairs. All right. So here we have 1x minus what? 7. So if you look at the numbers now, 3 minus 2x works out. But then it's also 3 minus positive 3, which we can correct. Right? So we can correct those double signs. And that's how you remove your brackets. So you correct your double signs. Okay. Don't do that yet. We're not there yet. We'll go over that in a second. Okay, that's down there. Okay, D, go for it. Okay, so number 1, you want to draw this. And then number 2, you want to subtract each piece. We want to take away a positive 2x squared. We want to take away a negative 3x. And we want to take away a negative 1. Your subtraction sign belongs to all 3 of them. Okay. So can we take away positive 2x squareds? Easily. Okay, just cross them off. Can we take away a negative 3x? Well, yeah, but let's not go there yet because that's the next step. Right now we're just working with the symbols, okay? So you're right on there, Alina. That's awesome. But we can take away one negative. How are we going to take away another negative? Make it a 0 pair. Okay? So we're going to have to add 2 of them. That way we can take away 2 more negatives like it's telling us to do. And that's why, Alina, you're right. We should be, it's kind of like we're adding. Okay? And the next one, taking away a negative, we can't do that unless we have one there. So we add a 0 pair. If there's not one there, add a 0 pair. Sorry, cross it off. There we go. Let's cross off marker. Okay. And so what's left over? What do we have? 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. So we could correct these double signs, couldn't we? All right. So let's have a look at this. Here's the algebra expression. I want you to write it now with the algebra. So go from this to this. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Okay. So we're just about there. Now we keep talking. Let's get rid of our brackets. Nothing changes, but this means we have to subtract a negative x squared. We have to subtract a plus 3x. And we have to subtract a negative 1. So technically that's what we're doing. But what have you guys probably been doing since last year? What are we going to do here with this minus negative? Yeah, you guys change it to a plus, right, x squared. What about this minus plus 3x? You change that to a minus 3x. And this minus negative 1, you change it to a plus 1. Okay. So where we're at is this. We're kind of expecting you to go right to this step. And most of you are there. This middle step is the reason why. Why can we do this? It's because you're subtracting each piece. Okay, it's the whole sign stuff, subtracting stuff that's not there. What's your final answer? Kyla, how many x squareds? Good. Emma, how many x's? Negative 1 minus 3. Good. Negative 4. Right, because you have a negative, there's a negative 1 and negative 3. Okay, altogether negative 4. Right. And now we have plus 3 plus 1. Joe?
4.
Good, plus 4. Any questions? So for your work, how many lines of work are you going to show? Well, this would be the question you'd write down. 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's what we're expecting. So let's do that now. Now for the adding, it's a good habit to remove brackets. So 6x minus 10 plus 2x plus 3. Really, we're adding both pieces, but nothing changes with addition, so you can't screw it up. What's your final answer? Tinder? 8x minus 7. Good. Now, how many of you like to do as little work as possible? Put up your hands. Yep, there should be 30 of them. Okay. So I like to do this to draw the arrows to help me remember I'm subtracting each piece. That's really, really important, especially for what's coming up with multiplication. Okay. So then we can rewrite this without brackets. 5x plus 6. Now change your signs, correct your signs. What does it become? Minus 3x plus 3. So some teachers might have said add the opposite. So we have a plus 3x minus 3. So the opposite would be minus 3x plus 3. So you often hear that, add the opposite, or if you've heard that before, that's what they're talking about. Final answer, what do you got? Hardeep? 9. Sure, fine. Good. Okay, go ahead, do C. Please remove brackets, showing me that nothing changes. So you should have two lines of work. Then for D, show 2 lines of work as well. Okay, check your final answers once you work it through. I emphasize for D, the signs change with the red. Okay, so with the red, make sure you've done that. And then you gotta be careful with your adding, subtracting, right? Because we got positive, negative numbers, throwing that stuff at you. Thumbs up, down, in the middle. How'd you guys say? All right. I know we kind of gone back to some basics.